Today we're continuing with adding and subtracting fractions, and on this page we are going to just review really quick the process for adding and subtracting fractions. So remember the steps. We need to stack the fractions. Remember our little rhyme is add, subtract, stack, and rack. Convert mixed numbers into improper fractions. Look at the fractions. Do they have the same denominators? If not, we need to find that common denominator. Then we need to either add or subtract the numerators, keep the denominator the same, leave the answer improper, and then simplify your answer. So if we look at the first three problems, let's do some practice. So if we look at number 1, remember add, subtract, stack, and rack. So we're going to stack them up 1 4/5 plus 7/8. Turn mixed numbers into improper fractions. So this becomes 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 becomes 9/5. This is 7/8. And I can scoot that over if I want to. Now, if I look at the denominators are 5 and 8. We need to think of a common factor that have 5 and 8 in common. And remember, you can always use your multiplication chart if you need it. The common factor between 5 and, oh, I'm sorry, this is 7/9. Let's fix that. So a common factor between set 5 and 9, my apologies, is 45. So we're going to set them both equal to a denominator of 45. And 5 times 9 is 45. So what we do to the bottom, we need to do the top. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times 5 is 45. And whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. So 7 times 5 is 35. And we are adding. So we're adding the numerators. 81 plus 35 over 45. 81 plus 35 equals 116 over 45. It does not simplify, so that's where it's going to stop. Now, if I look at these, my denominator is 45, so this one here or this one here is probably my answer. But turn them improper and find which one matches. So if I turn all of these improper, this one's going to be 23 over 8. This one here is going to be 103 over 45, which does not match. This one is 25 over 14. And this one here is 116 over 45. So this is the matching one, so this one is the answer. So I want you to do number 2. Remember, it is subtraction. So go ahead. So if we do number 2 together, it is subtraction. Add, subtract, stack, and rack. So we're going to do 4 1/3 stacked up with 1 1/5. Turn it improper. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 gives me 13 over 3. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 more gives me 6 over 5. And I have to look at the denominators. They are 3 and 5. What common factor do 3 and 5 have in common? Well, it would be 15. So both have to get a denominator because I have to change both. 5 times 3 is 15, so 6 times 3 will be 18. 3 times 5 is 15. 13 times 5 gives you 65. Then I'm subtracting the numerators only. 65 minus 18 over 15. 65 minus 18 becomes 47 over 15. It does not simplify any farther. The denominator is 15, so more than likely it's either going to be one of those first two. But turn them improper. See which one matches. The first one is 52 over 15, so that's not the answer. The second one is 47 over 15. That one matches, so there we go. And then just for practice, this one is 19 over 8. And this one is 39 over 8. So we can see that for number 2, that one is the answer. And then I want you to do number 3 on your own. So pause the video, do number 3. If we look at number 3, add, subtract, stack, and rack. So we have 2/3 plus 8 over 12. We don't have any mixed numbers, but we do need to look at the denominators, which are 3 and 12. 3 is a factor of 12, so I only need to change this one. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. Then I'm looking at the numerators. I'm going to add them. 8 plus 8 over 12, because we just did that work to have them the same. And that becomes 16 over 12. I can divide this by 4 in the numerator and denominator. And I'm left with 4 over 3. The denominator's 3, so really this one or this one is going to be the answer. We know 5/6 isn't going to be the answer. We know 10/15 isn't going to be the answer. Turn the mixed numbers improper. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 more gives me 4 over 3. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 gives me 7 over 3. So the only one that's the answer is that first one. If you have any questions, rewatch this video, or you can watch the video from the previous day.